honest opinion on Liverpool.
Yeah, go on.
The Anfield factor is massive. The fact that they're not going to have fans in the ground, I think that is going to be a huge factor that Liverpool have not, they can't do anything about and haven't really factored in. You know, the Anfield, for you lot, Arsenal don't matter because you lot don't sing or make no noise anyway. So
yes,
but
sometimes singing don't always get you trophies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, well played. Dash, I'm curious to know, where do you think you're not going to finish this year?
What's happening, people, everybody? This is Everyone's a Pundit, and we are back after pre-season, a pre-season break. It's been a while. This is episode 43. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. You will not be disappointed. And also share abouts with your friends. Listen, and if you're enjoying, give us a like. I am Semps, aka Leon Semper. Well, that's actually my real name. It's aka Semps. And I'm joined here today with two co-hosts, one from the red side of London, the other from the white side of North London. Can we introduce ourselves, gents, starting with Lee?
Yeah, man, it's LP, big Spurs fan, otherwise known as Beer Culture London. And listen, I don't like the way you just said we're from North London. In fact, I like the way you said we're from North London and that he's from London, because they're originally not from North, they're from South of the river. Yeah, respect, Sense.
Here we go again.
It's starting already. It's starting already.
Just I like the geography to be correct, you boy.
And Dash, introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, it's your boy, Dashiki Dash, Mr. AKA Dash of Sports, back in the building.
And wicked. Thank you very much for joining us today, gents. And for those of you who are new and don't know, I am a Manchester United fan. So today we are going to be talking about, we're just going to jump in and discuss transfer, some of the big transfers that's come into the Premier League, into our teams, Arsenal, Man United, Spurs, and some other teams as well. We'll also discuss what our hopes are for next season, where we think the title's going, where we think the top 4, top 6 will make up, maybe who's going to be relegated, what we think will happen with the likes of Everton, with the likes of Leeds, Wolves. We're just going to discuss, and then we'll also discuss Lionel Messi saga with Barcelona, and I want to just get to hear what these two think about that. All right,
man.
So
guy just teased us, man.
It'll be interesting to hear what you lot have been saying.
Teased me, man.
I haven't really spoke football with much with you guys, man. So it'll be good to wrap it up and just discuss and see what's what. You know what I mean? So if we was to start then with Arsenal, obviously you lot won the Community Shield. You know, Arsenal man's chests are high now. In the gym, man, are all talking about, top 4 is guaranteed and all of this stuff. So, Dash, how are you feeling, man? And who are you most excited about with the signings that you've brought in so far?
Listen, first and foremost, I gotta thank you for bringing me back here, because pretty much this time last year we sat around, everyone's a pundit talking about our teams. And yeah, at that point in time last season, I was confident, but you saw how it unfolded with Unai Emery sacking. But then my guy, El Jefe, El Patron, Mikel Arteta, he's here now. He's making us. I'm smiling. I bought the new kit. I wasn't even going to buy the kit. You know what I mean?
Man, put his hand in his pocket, people.
Deep. Reluctantly, but I gave it because I was like, you know what? I trust in Mikel Arteta. I'm trusting.
Is that what the Community Shield did? Yeah, give you that confidence to go buy the top.
I'm gonna add another piece of silverware, the FA Cup as well. You know. What I mean?
Oh, sorry.
You got to get them domestic trophies out of the way. But no, in all seriousness, I don't know about how the man in your gym are talking in regards to top 4. I'm not sure we are still equipped for that. we're going into the season with pretty much the kind of same squad. We have added in terms of our defense, and that is one thing that we've rarely done. We've rarely gone into the transfer market and identified defenders from the get-go. So I'm happy that we did that. Obviously, buying Saliba last season and sending him out on loan. He's had some rave reviews in France. Then we've got this young buck, Gabriel, another Brazilian, in the mix. Another, great reviews in regards to him. So two young defenders, 19 and 22. So clearly we're looking at in terms of, the future of Arsenal, the future defence. And then, bringing in Willian, a lot of people kind of turned their nose up at Willian. Pat, one time I was having some mad debates with Pat about Willian, being a free transfer. You even know about this. And I think it's like some shrewd business there because, coming from a team that they're notorious winners, you can't deny like his accomplishments with Chelsea. Age-wise, yeah, but sometimes we're always critical about a player reaching their 30s and we're always dismissing them straight away. He rarely has injuries. Obviously in form at times because of the fact that he's in and out of the team at times at Chelsea, but he's proven. So I don't mind that signing, and obviously time will tell. We still need a CDM. We still need a protector in midfield. We need a creative. So, the likes of Partey and Osem Ouar have been mentioned, the likes of Coutinho. But the problem is those signings are going to take money. It's going to take some money. And what I was saying at the beginning in regards to our squad is pretty much the same. We've not had no one exiting the team. No one's left yet. So if we can't get the wage down and we can't get the money in regards to these signings that we need, because Partey is 45 million, Ouar is like 50 million. So unless we've got some players, on their way out, I don't think we're going to get those the players that we need. But the most important...
Go on. And I'll ask you after.
Just the last bit. The most important thing amongst the signings is Aubameyang signing the contract to extend his contract. We, obviously the rumblings is that he has done it, but it still hasn't been announced yet.
Announced yet, has it?
Yeah, that's the most important thing, man, because without his goals, yeah, man, it's just going to be tough. So go ahead.
I can't see him leaving. But did you get any money from Mkhitaryan? When did he leave?
Nah, so the Mkhitaryan situation was basically, let's get him off the wage bill. So it was like more of a cancelled contract where then Roma kind of pick up the last year of his contract to pay him off. So that would be essentially the fee, essentially. So we've got that situation with Mkhitaryan. We've got that situation with Socrates at the moment as well, down to his last year. Obviously, we've got Ozil down to his last year, and he can't be shifted. So, yeah, all in all, I think in terms of the defense part of it, I'm very happy with. I would definitely love a creative. I feel like we need someone either creating or adding the goals. We miss a Ramsey-like player. Yeah. The midfielder that arrives late in the box, getting those additional goals. We do miss that era of a Pires and Ljungberg that were chipping in with a 12, 15 goals a season. So hopefully with Willian, who's managed 10 goals last season, if he's able to kind of kick off from where he left off at Chelsea, then hopefully. But then it's another season for the likes of Pepe as well. We've got Gabriel Martinelli. We've got Saka, our new number 7. And yeah, man, that guy's, he's going to be something as well. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy all in all.
Lee, what do you make of Arsenal and their signings, and were you a bit surprised that Spurs didn't get somebody like Willian, because I know Jose was a big fan of his?
No, the wages are too much. You got to remember, Willian's come from. I mean, listen, Willian's a good player. Yeah, he's a proven winner. I think he's going to go, and I don't necessarily believe he'll start out wide. Potentially start as a man in the hole. You speak about the creativity that you need in the midfield. Could Willian not be that guy to play just behind the front man? I think he's perfectly capable of doing so.
Yeah, I think he can. Yeah, I think he can. You're right.
I don't think we needed a Willian. I think he's too expensive wage-wise. He doesn't fit just based on the signings that I'm seeing at Spurs, he doesn't fit the philosophy of signing in the sense of, cheap, resale value available, somebody who he does have a winning mentality, but, isn't going to come in and command or demand to start or demand certain wages. We're not in a position to do that right now. And I think we're boxing clever in terms of the types of signings, so William wouldn't have been on the radar. To be honest with you, I think the Gabriel Magalhaes signing, if I said his name right.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know nothing about him. I don't think any Arsenal man knows anything about him. I just think the fact that he was
Alexander.
Yeah. Listen, he looks good. He looks good. He looks good on YouTube, but he's one of them guys where, let's have it right. He was touted at Tottenham. He was touted at Man United. There was a lot of speculation about who he was going to join. That's when everyone started saying, "Oh yeah, he's a good player," because everyone looked on YouTube. No one knew about this brother from Lille.
Well, I don't think it's
no
just,
one knew of him.
I don't think it's just a YouTube thing. Like you said, he was touted at City, United, Napoli. From times when you're seeing these caliber of teams going for players, it gives you a small indication on what kind of talent he is. His numbers.
Are these teams going for him though? We don't know that because Jason tried to get smart with me and talk about Man United. Who said Man United was after this guy?
That's what it was reported. That was
reported by who?
In many credible, outlets and places like that.
Sorry, bro, but if Man City, who need a centre back, are looking at Gabriel, they get him. They take him. There's no longer
going to Arsenal.
He ain't going to Arsenal.
At the same time, it is the caliber of players that you're going for. I don't think Man City need a young 22-year-old unproven guy. We know that they don't need that. They're linked with the likes of like Koulibaly, so it's not that's. Arsenal going for Gabriel, it suits us because we're really trying to build with what Arteta's going for. So hence the young players. We didn't know nothing about Saliba, and we went and got Saliba. So,
but you still, but with the greatest respect, you still don't. And this is what I'm trying to say to a few Arsenal man that are like, our defense is sorted. You've got a 19-year-old and a guy from France that no one knows of. Listen, I'm not disputing. From viewing highlights of them, they both look very good players. And I think in Arteta, he could potentially get the best out of him. However, you're going from just because the defense has been bad for a period of time, and probably your weakest area, it doesn't necessarily mean that things are going to be fixed just because you go and sign two young boys.
Listen, it could be a situation where you go get the most experienced player and they still don't cut the mustard at the club. We would never know what signings. We went and spent 72. Yeah. We went and spent 72 million on Pepe. Like we're hoping that he becomes the player that we want him to be. Man United went and spent money on Martial. You're hoping that he becomes a player. You guys spent money on Ndombele. We don't have a crystal ball for it, but what we do know is
I bring Martial in this for.
You know
what I mean? Keep them out your mouth. Keep them out your mouth, bro. Keep them out your mouth.
I think for those who are saying, "Oh yeah, we've bought this player. He's gonna do this." Yes, you can celebrate all you want. We ain't gonna know. But what I will say is, like, for us, Arsenal, in terms of our transfer policies, we always tend to start top to bottom. We never really start from defense, so that's encouraging to see that we're actually.
But that's not true though, because you bought Mari, you bought in Mustafi after you won a World Cup.
Mustafi,
you bought in David Luiz to try and shore things up at the back as well. What's happened has been bad recruitment, and I think we've discussed this previously. It's been bad recruitment. I think this is a better recruitment model that I've seen from you lot. I think it's a much better recruitment model.
When you say like the likes of Mustafi, that was in an era where still we weren't really, because even at that point we needed about 2 or 3 defenders. It wasn't just Mustafi alone that needed to be bought. You know what I mean? So what I say,
you got Holding in at the same time.
Nah, Holding was after that, and nobody knows what Holding was about, and hence what I'm saying. Holding cost like 500,000. Nobody would give him a sniff. You know what I mean? If you cost like maybe 10 or 15, you probably say that, he's a decent defender, and I think he's one for the future as well. But we still need a bit more. We still need a bit more, and I just feel like in a short time, if you think about it now, it's like what 6-8 months now with Arteta.
Yeah,
and he's done a lot. He's done a lot, man. A lot of encouragement. And I think the structure as well in terms of what we had with Solanke. We literally had 2 people doing all this, controlling all the football business. Now it's just down to Edu and the manager. So it seems like when Arteta identifies someone, that's the player that he's going to go for. So there's a lot more structure. There's more belonging to the club in terms of the manager. Us fans now, we can it's like kind of that Wenger feeling again, like we can identify with the manager because he belongs to the club. So, yeah, man, I don't know. We'll see it. We'll see how it goes. But when you're saying about Tottenham, you're saying about your philosophy of buying and stuff, like what is it that you're going for? Because you just bought Doherty.
So basically, we're going for... It's from what I believe anyway, we're going for players that have a different mentality to what we've currently got. We've got a very talented squad, and I believe Pochettino took it as far as it could go. It couldn't get over the line in winning trophies. Yeah, there's a lot of people in there that haven't necessarily got a winning mentality or a leadership mentality. And it's been, regularly touted about that we're too nice. So Mourinho's coming and he's brought in somebody called like Højbjerg. Højbjerg isn't your glamorous, exciting player, but what he's got is a pedigree coming through the ranks of Bayern Munich, being their youngest player ever to play in the first team, to then be made captain at 23 at Southampton in the Premier League. Yeah, he's a leader. He's someone who's going to come in and do a specific role in the Tottenham team. You then buy Matt Doherty, who's a proven, and no one can dispute, he's a proven right back. Just because he hasn't got a fancy French or Spanish name, he's a proven right back. When people were talking about this Regulion, for example, I think that's how you say his name, the Sevilla guy. Everyone's like, yeah, man, Sevilla, wicked, let's buy him. But he could come to the Premier League and take some time to acclimatise. Matt Doherty's done it in the Prem. I think for fullbacks, he's got the second highest productive rate to Trent Alexander-Arnold. You know what I'm saying? So his numbers are top drawer.
I will say one thing about Doherty. Defensively, though, he could get found out. Obviously, being at Wolves a bit.
No,
but there you go. There you go. This is what you were just talking about. Just because you have a bad player and you've replaced him, you still got to replace him for the right reasons, not just because you have a bad player. You know what I'm saying? But
defensively, he's good. Defensively, his numbers were better than Aurier's numbers at Spurs, and I need to actually find the stats for you, Lee, because Aurier's defensive numbers in terms of 1v1 battles was actually quite solid. What he did have in his locker was a mistake, an error, but defensively he was actually quite sound. Defensively 1v1. I remember a game against Wilfried Zaha, and he wrapped Zaha up. Defensively, he wasn't bad. He just had a wild, reckless kind of moment of madness.
Positionally, he wasn't great. He wasn't great positionally.
His footballing IQ was very poor.
Yeah, definitely.
So for me, Matt Doherty is a strong right back, and he's someone who's going to come into a team, and you're not going to get any with him. You're going to get a man that's going to do as the manager asks. He's going to fit in well. He's going to go forward. He's a 6 foot fullback, so he's going to be able to defend the back post and attack the back post. And to be honest, I think it's a solid signing. Let's not forget, a man who is homegrown, has 2 years left on his contract, has experience playing in the Europa League, and has experience playing for multiple years in the Premier League. We've just bought him for 13 million. That's unheard of, man. That's good business as far as I can see it.
Hey, but when we play against you, man, you got to question his loyalties a little bit. You might still be lingering with that Arsenal, complex of supporting Arsenal.
Man deleted the tweets. You saw it
by gunpoint. By gunpoint.
yeah, straight. It's Tottenham. Come on, man. We got to let them know. Listen.
So Lee, let me ask you this, because this is a question that's been posed by a couple people. Now, at the beginning of the window, if you was told that you're going to sign, or even last season, you was told that you're going to sign Højbjerg, Doherty, and Joe Hart, would you have been happy
we didn't even mention that yet.
At the start of the season?
If we was to look at like last season, during last season,
Okay,
we was to talk about Spurs signing these type of players.
I'll answer honestly.
Honestly.
If you'd have told me this time last season, to say that at the end of the Premier League season, these are who you're going to buy, I'd have laughed at you and said, don't waste my time. There's no ambition. Yeah. Daniel Levy's whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've just come through a global pandemic. And the market, everybody can see the market isn't in a position where, unless you've sold your best player for 150 million like Chelsea, you're not in a position to go out and buy who would have originally been on your shortlist. So for me, Jose Mourinho, Daniel Levy, whoever, the hierarchy at Spurs have had to re-navigate the market and look at who can actually do a job for a price that we can afford, rather than going out and splashing money. I personally believe if we didn't have the pandemic, we would have spent some bread. One, because Mourinho would have wanted it. Number two, because on a match day, our ground generates over 3 million. Do you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bread.
Is that how much it is?
On a match day, 3 million. So that's what we're losing out on. So you can imagine, combined with the television money that we get globally, because we were one of the highest earners in terms of television money. You know, there's a lot of money we've lost out on. I personally think we would have invested.
NFL,
concerts, the boxing, NFL, rugby. There's so much that we would have had. So I think, to answer your question, no, I wouldn't be happy with those signings, but I understand them now. And the signings, when you look deeper into the likes of Matt Doherty and Højbjerg especially, they actually make sense. They make sense. Oh?
Yeah, I hear that.
Joe Hart.
Yeah, that one there.
I'm confused. I'm confused with that. Is that an Englishman quota, English player quota thing?
He's absolutely. It's an English. It looks like it. Yeah. You know what? It's an English quota. Yeah, he's homegrown, but not only that, he's cheap. Wages are cheap, and he comes with experience. So he fits the narrative of what, having an experienced man in the dressing room. It's people that have won stuff,
Yeah. I suppose. The only thing is, you talk about the experience and the dressing room. Doherty and Højbjerg don't have any experience of winning anything.
No, they don't. But what there's a difference between a player that you can clearly define players that have leadership qualities.
Okay, yeah.
You don't necessarily have to have won something to be a natural born leader. You can actually be a leader of men within your team. A man like Højbjerg, in terms of his attitude and mentality, everything I've seen just from the short time he's been at Spurs, in terms of all the interviews, all the things he's saying, speaks that. Everything that's mooted about him in the media speaks that. His pedigree from Bayern Munich, Pep Guardiola spoke of him in that respect. Pep Guardiola compared him to the likes of Busquets, in terms of mentality, in terms of play, in terms of training mentality as well. So when these people are making those sounds about a player, he's got those leadership qualities. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what we need in the club.
I'll give Højbjerg his chops, because when he was obviously going through the whole notion of him, whether he's going to be staying or leaving or extending his contracts, they took the captaincy off of him, but he still maintained a really high professional standard. Yeah. I'll give him that.
Have you ever seen any of his interviews while at Southampton?
Nah.
He keeps it real, like, how did we lose? We're 2-0 down. There's no excuse for losing. I love that. I like a man who's going to come out and tell it as it is. You know what I mean? So too many of these men are fluffy nowadays.
He definitely looks like a Jose Mourinho type of baller, though. Like he will run through a brick wall for Jose, and that's what Jose is gonna like.
Hopefully he can speak to Ndombele and get him to maybe take him to the park and go for a jog or something.
Bro, that one there, I can't understand, man.
Is he a flop?
I can't understand.
Is he a flop? Is he considered a flop?
Do you know what it is? I don't think talent-wise he's a flop. I think he just doesn't want to be there.
Hold it there. Because the reason why I asked you that question is Pepe was already being considered like, he might be a flop or whatever. So if Pepe was, somewhat considered a flop.
Hold on. Dash. Pepe costs 72 million, bro.
Okay, that's our record. Hold on, that's our record. Hold on, that's our record signing, isn't it?
It's a lot of bread.
Your record signing is 65?
Where's 65?
How much was it?
Before. I think it's 50 something.
No,
check. Let me check. Let me check.
It's
I think it was in his
definitely
60s, you know.
Yeah.
I think that was in his 60s. Ndombele. Ndombele was in his 60s.
That is your record signing, and he's not performed. So definitely he should be considered a flop.
But you know what?
A lot of bread.
It's reported. Hold on. According to the Guardian, it's a club record fee of £55 million.
Oh,
plus the add-ons and all of that.
So we're calculating. What's it? So if we're doing the add-ons for Pepe, let me check Google Pepe Terrace.
Yeah. Google it. I'm just saying.
I'm saying it's 55 million.
So
72.
It's still your record signing.
Hang on, sorry.
Okay, still your record signing, right?
Hold on.
Wait.
Bro,
this is the
72
most
million going up to 81. Nah.
We've got the money. But listen to this. This is your record
you ain't, because it was
signing.
in bare installments for like 6 years.
Every signing does that. Come on, let's not be confused about
but
the Argos
yours
card.
was cheeky. You lot are cheeky.
That's how we do business.
Remember, you got the Argos card.
We got the Argos card out, man.
The Wonga, you got a Wonga loan, the lot, bro.
Don't be fooled, man. Don't let them fool you.
All I'm saying is, right?
No, but on a real note,
go on.
What is your thoughts on Ndombele quickly?
Okay,
like, what do you think he needs to do?
Listen, to be honest, I don't think he wants to be there. So the best thing the club should do is sell him.
Really?
Yeah, because I think he's an incredible talent. I want him to do well and succeed at Spurs. I've seen in the glimpses I've seen of him, I think he's exceptional. But I've also seen him not put the effort in and walk around the pitch, and literally walk around the pitch and not look totally disinterested in the game. Whether he believes, and it all comes down to mentality. And listen, we can read what we like in the press. My own press aside and everything I've read on Ndombele and other people's opinions, my own opinion is it's a very talented brother who's come to a team expecting big things. The managers that brought him has changed. He's one of our top earners. Things haven't gone his way. Things haven't gone the club's way. It's been a mess of a season. He don't want to be there anymore. He's probably looking around thinking, I could have gone City, I could have gone Barca, I could have gone Real, and he's trying to get out. Personally, if he goes, I'll be vexed because I think that we have one hell of a player on our hands.
Okay.
You know, and for 55 million, you know what I mean? You could probably sell him on at 872. Where
your record signing though, man. But you know, you spend a lot of bread on it. You can't just give up on him.
And if we were to just touch on the All or Nothing documentary, I'm not sure if you've seen it, Dash. I think it's a good watch, to be fair. Do you think that Levy and Jose do actually want to keep him, really, or do you think that they are just probably thinking about how they can just sell him on now?
I think they want to keep him because if we sell him this window, we're going to make a loss. Yeah, and it's, you know, we're going to lose out on a hell of a lot. I think they want to keep him to give it a try because he is a talent, you know, and to see what happens. Personally, I don't think it's going to work unless there's a significant change with Ndombele. I think he really has to turn around and say, you know what, I want to be here. I'm going to make this work. I want to be the best. But if that ain't happening, I can't.
Do you think also that Jose will give him, because Jose's come across very well in this documentary? Do you think then this new Jose that we're seeing in the documentary, or possibly he's always been like this, who knows? Do you think that he will give him the chance to turn it around at Spurs?
No, because Jose has to win something. Let's not forget, Jose didn't even bother trying to give him a chance last season, okay, because Jose had to win games. Jose had to get something, and qualifying for a European competition was a must for Jose Mourinho. This season, he has to win something. Yeah, if not, everybody's going to be out for him. So he hasn't got time to embed a youngster. He hasn't got time to embed a man whose attitude might not be right. Basically, Ndombele is going to get what he's given, and he has to turn up. If he don't turn up, listen, there's other players that can play. For example, Moussa Sissoko played the majority of minutes for Tottenham because his attitude was right and Jose trusted him. It's all about trust. Can you trust Ndombele to go into your midfield when you have to win games and put in a sterling performance, or put in a performance where he's going to walk around? Who knows? So why would Mourinho trust him? I don't think it's a case of the manager and his kind of attitude. I think it's about the manager needs to get results. So you got to play the players that you trust.
Fair enough.
It's a tricky one, man. Just the last thing. This is where we kind of have a headache over what is a good signing. A signing that you sign for lots of money, or your record signing, or your 10 millions, your 15 millions that could work.
Right.
We never know, you know what I mean? Because you go and spend all this money, and I'm not just saying Ndombele, I'm just talking about even just Pepe, anybody. You spend all this money, and if it doesn't work out, it's almost like your hand's burnt in it. Because then you're going to think to yourself, all right, the next transfer window, do I then try and go spend big, or do I spend smart? It's a tough one to juggle.
It's real interesting, because for me, if I were to employ someone, I'd want to know what your mentality is like, and if you're going to fit in with the current mold of staff and with the ethos.
You lot did scout him over them 2 Champions League games, so I'm not surprised it's a situation.
But this is what I'm saying. It's like how many players have been bought at our clubs and then have been sold straight away or haven't worked out? It begs to wonder: has the mentality of a man been thoroughly scoped out? Do you know what I'm saying? You know,
and I think the recruitment's been
a lot comes down to recruitment,
for all three of us. If it was to bring Man United in this as well, because you're right. I remember I went for a sales job many years ago, and in the interview, the guy didn't even ask me sales questions or nothing. It was more about my family, me, what, and he was just basically just trying to see what would motivate me and the type of person I am.
Yeah.
And I think this is important. And it's important. Exactly what you're saying. You can see there the Højbjerg type of player. This is what I get what you mean, Lee, with regards to the Højbjerg and the Doherty type of player. You can see that the ethos is changing. It's the same at Man United with the type of players that we've started signing. You know, your Maguires, your Wan-Bissakas. Then you see Bruno Fernandes, who's come in, and you can see is a natural born leader already. So
100%.
You can see the type of, whereas we're signing before your other players like Di Maria, who basically didn't even want to be there.
The pie
and all. And you know, it just didn't work. So
it's a bit of a gift and a curse for you guys, because you are Man United, and you command this, like, these superstars, and not all of these superstars are going to come to United and really put in the graft, you know what I mean? Because although it's a mega club, it still needs to have those hard-working guys to obviously keep it
it's interesting you say that. It's interesting you say that.
Go on, Lee, what are you going to say?
Because it draws me to Chelsea and their business. See, I know a Chelsea fan who's overexcited right now. You know, we're going to win the league, we're going to do this. But also know another Chelsea fan who said, look, hold on. These players have got to embed into the team, into the league, into their philosophy of the club. A lot of big names, Ziyech, he's a big name in Europe. Werner, big name in Europe. Kai Havertz, big young name coming through, for example. These players all coming in at, are they going to do the job that everybody expects them to do? Because you've got to also remember that the expectation that's placed on a big price and a big name, all right, carries severe weight, and they've got to be able to deal with that, as well as the rest of the team have to deal with that as well. So, I'll take your point, what you just said there, Dash, especially in relation to Man U, because Man U are expected to make big name, big money signings. You know what I mean?
But the mentality has to be right. Yeah,
right,
so
exactly.
That's where the recruitment has to be right. So it's good to see that obviously the likes of, the younger players that are coming through that know the fabric of the club and stuff like that. So you have to have a mix. You have to have a mix of that.
Well, this thing is, like, people always say Man United are expected to make big name signings. Under Fergie, we weren't making loads of big name signings all of the time. It was scattered. We would go and get your Rooneys, your Rio Ferdinands, your Van Persies or whatever. But don't forget the crop of the players we had around those players, were players that we would bring up through the youth, or we would pick a young Cristiano Ronaldo, or we would have a Scholes.
You got your Wes Browns,
your Fletchers, your Cleverleys. Don't forget the last time we won the league, we had Fletcher and Cleverley in the midfield. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah. Man United have, and people forget. People think Man United was not always buying big. Yeah, we would spend.
But that was under Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, and then since then, it's all gone pear because that's it.
The recruitment's gone left. It's gone
Do you know why?
It's gone out the window.
Do you know why it's gone pear shaped? It's because of the expectation of keeping Man United at the top. It's almost like you've neglected the whole ethos. Of your club to try to maintain that. Not even just that, but I think the club in itself to maintain that commercial aspect. Because you're going for all these like superstars, megastars and stuff like that.
What it is, Dash, it is the managers, because you bring in David Moyes, who probably was going to struggle to sign players anyway, because he's David Moyes. We've just lost Fergie. Nobody really necessarily wanted to come. He signed Fellaini. I think that was it, if I remember correctly. And then we finish, what, 7th or something? And he gets sacked. Then we bring in LVG. Now, LVG's coming in and and he's now demanding signings because it was an old team. You know, we can't get away from that. It was an old team. And then he now brings in a whole host of players. And then since then, we're just always playing catch up from that point of view because those players haven't worked. Then the new manager comes in, being Jose. He needs to get rid of certain players and then bring in his players.
That goes with like the change of the helm, innit? Every time you're changing your manager comes a change of ethos, philosophy, team. And that's why we always try to have teams, or we always like teams that have the longevity of managers. And the game nowadays is just like after 2 seasons, if you're not really proving
you don't get it.
You're done.
You don't get it.
And the thing about it, like not every team has the resources to keep going into the transfer market. As we know, it takes about 4 transfer windows to really get your team sorted. And how many years do you really have? How much time do you have? You know what I'm saying? So
this is now
what about Van der Beek? What about Van der Beek?
Well, this is what I'm saying. This is what I was just about to say. He also is another player that fits the profile of Manchester United. We're now starting to see a difference in our recruitment, and I'm excited. Do you know what I'm saying? Because of the type of players that we're bringing in. And, you know, hard working, can play in multiple positions, the mentality, you just hear the way he talks, hear the way I speak about him, Van der Sar's letter, all of this. These are the type of players that we want at our club.
Do you know what I like? I like the fact that he stayed an extra year. Was it extra year?
Yeah. Where De Jong and the rest left, didn't they?
Left. I think that's
De Jong, De Ligt, they went,
That's done him the world of good, because your mentality also, because you're looking at a man in the dressing room and you're thinking, he's made a move, and how come I'm still here? You remember Mahrez when he saw Kante. Who left? Kante leave. You see this obviously a bagger man leave, and he's thinking, why am I still here? And his form dipped. Where you got like a Van der Beek, he's looking at man and thinking, all right, this is still my club. I'll come through the ranks. I'm going to do everything for this club. And he's still maintaining the high standards. So you've definitely got a good player. And that letter from Van der Sar just shows, like, in terms of, you know, both clubs and how they see their young players coming through the ranks. And what it means to not just the team itself, but the whole community. You know what I mean? Because Van der Beek walks around Ajax and all of that kind of stuff. And he's a hero in the streets. You know what I mean? So I
think it's important that exactly what you're saying, the fact that Van der Beek has wanted to come to Man United and Ajax, Van der Sar have said and given him the blessing to come to Manchester United, as for me, tells me that the project that's going on at Man United now is something that we probably haven't had now since Fergie. I'm just reading between the lines, do you know what I mean? Because Van der Beek would have had to have been convinced of this, and now with Ollie there and Ollie being a Fergie protege, not to say that we need the Fergie way, because we need to evolve and move on. I think
I get you.
I do think that the recruitment and the direction that we're going in now is different to what we've seen post Fergie. Do you know what I mean? And
the likes of Man United, the likes of Man United, Arsenal's, probably I'll say Liverpool. I'd probably say those 3 clubs at the moment. There'll probably be clubs that will come after that. I'm seeing Wolves at the moment. Those are the clubs that shout out to me like those one-man managers that for the club. You know what I'm saying? Not just, he's just a coach. He's just come for maybe a couple of seasons or so. Those ones where you're looking at maybe 5, 6, 7 year projects in terms of a manager, so that he can really build, and you can be like, this was Ollie's era, this was Arteta's era, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And obviously we kind of saw it with Poch in a degree,
We did, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? This is what we need to see from clubs, not just chopping and changing all the time.
Yeah.
Because every season you look at another transfer window, and as a fan, you're just thinking, oh, we need to buy this player, we need to get rid of this player. So how many years are you gonna have players? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's a good point actually. How many clubs would you say in the Premier League could confidently say, we just need to get one man here, maybe two. Someone's contract's up. We could either renew it or replace. Only club I can see doing that is Liverpool, really.
Liverpool, yeah.
Only Liverpool, really. And even there, they could switch out Wijnaldum for Thiago.
Thiago now, innit? But Wijnaldum maybe going to Barcelona.
Easy. Barcelona, yeah.
Easy. Yeah. But they did their recruitment with that vision in mind, I believe. They went and they signed Van Dijk. They waited for the right guy. They got Robertson, who was cheap, unknown, you know. You could say, although age, I'm not at any form saying Doherty and Robertson on a level.
No, I hear what you're saying, though.
But in terms of an unknown player that people wouldn't necessarily sing about, has come in and fits a system and is there for the long term.
Like for ourselves, we got Tierney, and you'd think to yourself, all right,
good player.
Coming from Celtic, he's come to the Premier League, and he's done really well. It's not a household name. But he's doing the business, and he's a specialist in his position, and that's what we've needed.
The reality is, if I was to say, you can see two ends of the spectrum. Man United showed you that marquee whole name signings don't always work. Liverpool, the other end, have shown you that you can buy your Wijnaldums from Newcastle and fit a system, and it's going to work. Your Hendersons, your Manes, your Robertsons, your Trent Alexander-Arnolds, and then you just mold it all together. That's what I say. Hendersons, you know what I mean? It can work. You know what I mean? So,
do you think it's going to be a stretch for them this season?
I thought this last season. I do think this season definitely.
3 years. 3 years to get that consistency.
3 years, yeah.
I'm not my honest opinion on Liverpool.
Yeah, go on.
The Anfield factor is massive. The fact that they're not going to have fans in the ground, I think that is going to be a huge factor that Liverpool have not they can't do anything about and haven't really factored in. The Anfield for you lot, Arsenal, it don't matter because you lot don't sing or make no noise anyway. So
yes, but sometimes singing don't always get you trophies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right, well played. But at the same time, I think that's a factor Liverpool haven't necessarily considered. So
don't get me wrong.
I don't know.
Don't get me wrong. I think if any team can do it, it would be a Liverpool team. But just like any athlete or anyone that's on top of their game, to really go 3 years, like the third year is really going to be.
You know what though? We also need to acknowledge the fact that everybody was poor last year. Man City lost 9 games, and we can't expect that to happen again going forward. You would expect, and it's not one of our teams are going to flop. Do you know what I mean? But you would expect Spurs to be better. You would expect Man United to be better. You would expect Arsenal to be better. You would expect Chelsea to be better.
It's a difficult one.
Expect Man City to be better.
It's a difficult one because you've got the likes of like Wolves that could be in the mix. You've got like a lot of teams that are outside.
Wolves are done.
Wolves ain't breaking. Wolves ain't breaking.
Wolves and Leicester performed in a poor league.
Yeah.
They performed in a poor league and they didn't achieve anything.
What I'm saying is just let's not just sit here and think to ourselves there's not other teams that can cause those break-ins or the upsets and stuff like that. This league in the last couple of years or a few years has shown us that teams are improving. So it's not just us playing our top 6 spots.
Upset to what though?
In the fact that I'm not saying that they will finish in the top 6 positions, but they're clearly affecting the league positions.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that Arsenal, Man United, Spurs, Chelsea, they had poor seasons, and then Man City finished second, and they had a poor season. They lost 9 games. Going forward, you will not expect that to happen.
Fair
again.
enough. Yeah.
And the gap, I think the top 4, top 6 will then be condensed a lot more. Liverpool were like miles ahead. They were too far ahead.
That was ridiculous.
And it doesn't matter how well they played. The other teams were playing poor to let them get that far ahead. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So next year, I'm just saying, you would expect that to be different.
Go ahead.
Yeah. For real. No, I agree with you on that. Dash, where I'm curious to know, where do you think you're not going to finish this year?
Honestly, it's going to be a top 6 position. Yeah, so I'd probably say like sixth, fifth. I think it's.
Man went conservative top 6, you know.
Boy, the energy just drained, bro.
No.
Lee. You see, he went.
Nah, listen.
Honestly, man come with a new kit and all sorts. The high energy at the
and the
beginning.
Arsenal hat as well.
Maybe.
I'm gonna maintain that because I think in order for us to push through into the top 4, we're gonna have to do something extraordinary for this season, man. We're gonna have to really push hard for it.
Okay.
I just think our squad at the moment, we're just missing those 2 players that I mentioned in terms of like really pushing for the top 4.
But
at the present moment, if
Partey should be on.
We don't know. I don't know. I can't come on here and be like, I don't want to be them guys that in the know and then I'm coming and flopping. But all I'm saying, we do need a CDM and we do need a creative player. Otherwise, our season defensively could get better, but in terms of just relying on Aubameyang all the time, we could come undone. So.
Okay. So with that, so let's say you signed Thomas Partey. Where'd you finish?
Top 4. And that's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. The difference in terms of the players.
Yeah, I hear that.
You know what I'm saying? If there's for example, United just adding that Fernandes into the team, all of a sudden you've seen the difference. It's raised the game of the other players, and it's just changed the dynamics. And I think we're just one player at the very least away from pushing in the top 4.
Top 4 or because look, statistically, you lot have beaten everybody in the top 6 other than Spurs and won silverware under Arteta. Arteta's numbers and stats have been exceptional. So why are you lot now trying to hold back and shortchange?
I'm respecting the process because I understand.
Okay, fair. That's fair.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to be saying we finished 8th. That's the reality of it. We finished 8th. And there's about 4 other teams ahead of us. So I have to respect the process. So an improvement for us is obviously
ahead.
If we get if we get like
the Burnley finish above you.
I don't even know. You know, afterwards you just don't care in it. Like it is what it is. But we did what we had to do. Ending on a high. We did what we had to do in terms of ending on a high for those players to realize what Arteta's brought to the team is working.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I
a lot of those young players that are, the likes of 17, 18, your Sakas, your Maitland-Niles and all of that kind of stuff with like 2022, they are sitting in the team knowing that, we can go out there and actually win things and let's try and push for this Champions League. So I'm happy with what's going on and I'm realistic. I don't want to sit here and just be like, oh yeah, we're going to finish 4th all of a sudden. Nah, there's a process to it. So
wicked.
Okay.
We ain't got long left. So let's head over to Lee. Lee, where do you think that Spurs are going to finish next season?
If we can do the business that's been touted around, we can strengthen the squad further. Personally, I think we could get in the top 4. I really do. I think that injuries, we had a terrible season last year. Terrible season. I think a lot of people make it out to be even worse because Arsenal, our rivals, won silverware. But let's have it right. Any team, you lose your top 3 players, at any given time, you lot are going to struggle too. We lost big players at big times of the season. There was a point going into just before lockdown where we were going to go in with Dele Alli up front because everyone, Lucas, Son, Kane, everyone out injured. Do you know what I'm saying? So for me, I think with the manager we've got, with the recruitment we've done so far and what we could potentially do, if we get a few more players in, I don't see why we can't be in the top 4.
Cool. And what about Chelsea? Where do you lot think Chelsea? Because I know you were saying earlier about them bedding in and everything. I personally think that there's something about Chelsea over the last however many years, man, where they just managed to just keep winning things. They just keep winning trophies.
I can't discount Chelsea, man. I can't discount
these players that they've brought in, it just seems like a bit of a madness right now. So I can see them doing bits next season, man. What do you lot think?
I can't discount Chelsea, man. Yeah,
I can't either.
Yeah, they're proven in terms of their recruitment in some sort of way. You know what I mean? They manage to
always seems to work
for them, regardless if they chop a manager, if they bring in you know what I mean? There's an interim manager, but in terms of the recruitment and how they do business as well, it's on point.
They get it done.
I think it'd be very silly of us just to be like, oh, they've bought all these players. Is it going to gel?
Yeah.
They clearly have their way. It works.
And they're top players too. Top players too, man.
So
Thiago Silva, mate. That guy leads the Brazil national team. Like, I think
that's a great signing, man. For a year,
bit of business.
Yeah,
you think what he could do to the likes of Zuma, Tomori, Christensen in terms of just knowledge, in terms of leadership, in terms of reading of the game. That guy is exceptional defender. So look, but at the same time, with that all being said, someone's going to get hit and it has to come out, because you would say that it's Man City and Liverpool are there. Boy, Chelsea, there's only one space in her.
What about United, man? You're keeping quiet over United, man.
I'm asking the questions, innit? I'm asking you lot feedback on your, you know what I mean? Boy, for me, United.
I was going to say, who's going to score more goals? Kane, Aubameyang, Martial.
Oba. No, I think this season. Yeah, I think this season is his red hot season. I think this is like he's in the red zone this season.
He ain't had an injury yet, has he?
He doesn't, man. He's Gabonese, man. African, strong.
Oh, what's he? He's 31, isn't it?
Bruv, don't watch that, bruv. He's full and everything.
I don't know, He's been in England too long.
Aubameyang does play all the time, to be fair.
Bruv, he plays throughout. Just remember this.
The thing is,
I said Oba.
Next season, Man United's goals will be... Martial will score goals again. He'll get over 20, but it will be shared. We're going to have goals from your Greenwoods, from your Rashfords, from your Bruno Fernandes, from your... It's just going to be spread. Like how it was. Yeah, man. And you can't forget the penalties. We're going to get them penalties in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you know
us too, boy.
You know what's funny, though? You know what's funny is... let's not go on like people don't miss penalties. You know what I mean? England just managed to get a 1-0 win because the guy got missed penalties.
And Mason Greenwood as well. He came on, got the penalty. And then what's it called? Martial in France's game as well came on and he got a penalty as well. So you guys are doing some judge, man. There's penalty stuff going on.
I'll take it myself. Kane, everyone used to say Kane was a penalty man, innit? Remember?
Yeah. But Martial didn't score no penalties in the Premier League. 17 league goals, no penalties. Do you know what I mean? It's a good return. But and the other thing is, we are living in a VAR era, so those penalties will
No.
Oh, bro, I hope they fix that up for this season, man. They need to send the ref to the monitor, because last year was an absolute farce. It was a disgrace. Disgrace.
I hear that. Man. Quickly, what we saying about just by the way, if Man United do get Jadon Sancho, then yes, we're top 4 certified.
You're not getting him this season.
We are.
You're not. No.
We are. Well, anyway,
1,000%.
1,000%. All right, we're gonna see, because you said that Messi was leaving, didn't you?
Aye, listen. I was excited. Did you say
Messi was gonna leave Barcelona?
I thought he was gonna leave. Yes.
Okay. Is Messi leaving Barcelona?
He's not leaving Barcelona.
Okay. I said it. I kept saying it to everybody in the gym, anybody I spoke to. Messi is not leaving Barcelona. Just stop gassing up the thing. Messi is not coming to no Premier League at his age. Are you stupid?
From time that 700 million, that's the number one factor. He just couldn't. And
he would have known all of this, man. It's all a smoke screen. These men think they're clever.
It might be. If he looks to go and get his change and get his money up, then albeit he's 33 in it, but it would have been a dream to see him.
Can I be honest?
See him in the Prem.
Yeah, I'd have loved to see him in the Prem. I think it's a bit of a move, man. They got slapped by Bayern Munich.
Exactly.
Things aren't going well.
Exactly.
And it's like, I'm leaving now.
I'm off. Exactly.
Bartomeu, it's a mess at the club. It's a disaster. I need
He
to
wasn't
leave.
saying that in June when they were top of the league.
Right. You need to let me go after all I've done. Come on, bruv. You're under contract. Yeah. If someone's going to pay you 700 mil, then you can leave. Yeah. Fly your dad in to let your dad hold negotiations, and you're still being told stay put.
The pops went in the office. You come out 2 seconds later. That's like,
what are you talking about Leo's leaving? Leaving where?
I can't do so much for you, man.
Where
I can't do. But if you think
you
about
go
it,
Man City, all right,
like you said, like you said, Sam, they would have known about this 700 million buyout clause. If your contract's up in June, and although the season's been extended, what is your dad doing? Twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah,
don't know about your contract.
Yeah,
like I should have been on it. Yeah.
If it's not you as a footballer, I understand that footballers are not going to know the ins and outs. They're just there to kick ball in it.
Yeah.
But your representatives, if it's really that you wanted to move, you need to fire your dad, fire your auntie, your uncle, all the ones you account, everybody, fire them because they've just done you. Because if you really wanted to move at 33, if anything, it would have given them at least an opportunity to come and taste the Prem for 1-2 years.
But this is what I mean. We gotta understand the situation for what it is, in my opinion. And I know we've got to go in a minute, but I just want to say this. 33, Messi, we know he likes the easy life. That's the reality of the situation. We can get into arguments about go over him or Ronaldo or whatever, but he likes that Barcelona life. Do you know what I mean? There's a reason why he's so dominant at the new camp, and away from home he isn't. You know, many people don't actually watch Barcelona. They talk about other players like your Ndombele, for example, walking around the pitch. Messi does that on a regular basis, you know. On a regular basis, you'll catch Messi walking around uninterested until he gets the ball.
Yeah, he switches on.
You say he warrants that. Yeah, maybe. But really and truly, for me, it shows the sort of mentality of him. You can see other big players have come there and
he's Mr. Barcelona.
He's Mr. Barcelona. So there's a reason why his dad hasn't asked for a move in June, because he had no intention of leaving. And that's what Lee says. They then go and get slapped up in the Champions League. Suarez is leaving. They lose the league, and he's thrown his toys at the pram. I want to leave Barcelona. Yeah, it's just all noise, man. It's all noise.
Yeah,
it's all noise.
Do you know what though? If they'd have sold him, I think Barcelona not necessarily would have been in a better position in the next year or two. But you've got to remember, Messi has a massive wage. What you can do once Messi leaves Barca, that's when the rebuild takes place. They can't rebuild with Messi still in the club.
But Lee, why would you have a 700 million release clause in your contract if you're Lionel Messi? Why would you have that?
Yeah, you ain't going nowhere because you know no one's going to pay that. That means you're basically
why would you have that?
Do you know what
it's also a bit to say, listen, I'm the man. If you want me, that's how. No one else has that. You know when it's what I personally believe.
It's a prestige kind of thing.
It's a prestige level. It's like having a Rolls Royce and making it velvet and gold velvet.
I'm the only one that's got that. Yeah,
but I'm the only one that's done it. And him and Ronaldo are very much. They're all about the accolades. Yeah. To be the GOAT, you want to be the accolades. Ronaldo's mantra is, I've gone to various countries and I've done this. Messi's like, well, I've stayed at one club and I've maintained my level at this. And I've got, you know what I mean? So I think
do you know what I'm baffed about? Just quickly, the fact that he's had the 700 million release clause, but then every end of season, he was able to go and sit down with the club and say that he can leave on a free. So how does that work out? Was he able to leave on a free or not?
So and apparently June, if he was spoke, then he could leave on a free. If he then says he wants to leave, I think is the way it is.
Okay.
If he says he wants to leave by the 10th of June, then he would have been able to leave. But because that has now passed, his 700 release clause has to be extended. And what he's saying is what, because of coronavirus, the league it didn't finish when it was meant to finish. It's now been extended. Yeah. So I should think now. You know what I mean? That's
apparently he's had that for the last couple of seasons. So last couple of seasons, he sits down with the club. So where he thought to himself, okay, come the end of the actual season, well, the extended season, I'll be able to go and sit down with the club and tell them. But
this is what I'm saying. If you're saying to yourself every season, I'm gonna sit down with the club, then why would you allow a 700 million release clause to be put in?
Because
That's basically saying you're not going anywhere. No one ain't paying 700 million.
Yeah,
I don't care
it's a
who
safety
you are.
net. It's a safety net.
I also think that he was probably dictating a lot in terms of recruitment at Barcelona. So he's probably
100%.
sitting down saying, listen, this because him and Suarez are meant to be like best friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
There's
probably
bringing
cut
in
him.
people I want. And what's cut him is there's no money to buy the players because Barca don't have no money to buy it.
Yeah.
He didn't want Griezmann as well. He didn't want Griezmann,
which is why Griezmann was getting. Yeah,
he's
Griezmann
like, why are you bringing
got
in?
no
Why are
love.
you bringing in Griezmann? And
Do you remember there was a big thing? Yeah.
He's like, why are you bringing in Griezmann playing in the same position if it don't make no sense? And then he's criticised obviously the spending, like 100 million on Ndombele, 100 million on Coutinho, 100 million here, and he's just like, so I don't know. It's almost like like in basketball, you got like the franchise player who dictates, I want this player to come so that we can build.
100% Messi, bro.
Same
100%
way
that's
with
Messi.
Yeah.
Messi runs things at the club, man. You know what I mean? But I think he thought he had it bigger than what he had.
100%.
in there to negotiate the thing, and they say,
he really thought he had it because he was like, "Yo, man."
But you just imagine, right? If Messi had done that, how much of an embarrassment it would have been for La Liga to lose Ronaldo and Messi, and Neymar, and how embarrassing it would have been for Barcelona. Because you look at the Gareth Bale situation with Real Madrid. Real Madrid don't want him, but they can't be seen to pay out a contract and be held to ransom by a player. So they're going to say, you know what? As much as it's going to burn us, you're staying.
It's ridiculous,
Messi, but Messi, we can't let you go, even though we feel like we could owe it to you to say, you know what? Yeah, go for it. No,
and
we can't.
You hit a point there because really and truly, if Barcelona, I'm sure they thought about it, but like you just saying in terms of just saving face, but really and truly, if they negotiated a deal, although he's got the 700 million release clause, just negotiate a deal where I'm sure the likes of City would have been prepared to pay like a 200 million. Yeah.
Easy.
You take that 200 million, you take his wages off, you're better off. Next season, if he decides to go, he's gone for free. No money. Messi. Not making no peas on him. So I don't know who's won in this situation, whether it's Messi or it's Barcelona.
I think Messi. I think Messi's going to come out of this.
He's going to come out on top.
Financially, he's going to come out on top.
The only thing I do say is I think this may have a little taint on his kind of swan song at Barcelona. I think him going out
clean
as
image and his pretty boy clean image. Don't do
no
wrong image.
I don't think
sense
so.
your little tone, Mr. Ronaldo over there.
I don't think so because he's done the same at Argentina. He's quit there. He's gone back. He's level.
That's what I'm saying. No one don't remember these retiring and coming back.
Yeah,
he's still the GOAT though.
Messi a joker, bro. Messi a joker, man.
If he turns around and stays and extends his contract, no one's gonna care about this saga, this episode.
I wonder what people would say if this was Paul Pogba. Anyway, we're gonna wrap up now.
True.
We're gonna wrap up.
We haven't touched on Maguire stuff anyway, but yeah, man.
We didn't. Yeah, man. This is what I'm saying, boy. I thought this was gonna be a quick one. We've already got to the hour mark. Jesus, boy, can just always talk. But anyway, boys, thank you very much for jumping on. Where can they catch you, people? Please let us know. And we didn't really. I should have discussed and chat about my man Chadwick.
Chadwick.
R.I.P. to the GOAT, to the God there,
Just on that though, it's things like that just make us realize what's important in life, man. You know what I mean? Friendship, 100%. Family, health is wealth. So much love to you, man. Yeah.
Health is the most important, man. Just
100%.
if you're able to watch this, you're blessed. If you're able to listen to this, you're blessed. You know what I mean? And we are blessed to even record this and do this thing. So thank you very much, gents.
Yeah.
And where can they catch you, peeps? Starting with yourself, Dash.
Yeah, go and find me on YouTube, A Dash of Sports. It's my weekly show, all sports. Just talking about weekly sports news, trending stories, everything like that. And also you can catch me on Instagram. The same thing, A Dash of Sports. Come chat to me, man. I'll holler back.
Wicked. And yourself, Lee?
Yeah, Beard Culture London, men's grooming platform. We've got a lot of things in the pipeline in terms of high quality men's grooming products that are going to be released real soon. Find us on the Instagram at Beard Culture London. Come and show some love.
Lee, man, I need some help, man. Man's struggling, man. Look. Come help me out,
brother.
man.
Look, I can see a little something there, man.
Yeah, man. What can I use?
Noticing our dash.
I'm trying,
now
man.
some prayers.
Oh gosh, prayers,
tight,
you
man.
know.
Yeah, we got you, man.
Praise
We got
be,
you, man. We got something for you, man.
Praise to the Most High.
And peeps, you can find us at Views TV Official on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and also on the Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Views Football Podcasts. All the links will be in the description. Tell a friend to tell a friend. This is Everyone's a Pundit. We are your pundits, and we are out.
Peace.